Welcome back to Passionately Catholic. Question today is, can a Catholic believe in evolution? Is that okay to believe in evolution? Now, we've spent some time in the last series of videos here. We're taking a look at science and religion and how they actually work together. And there's such a prevailing myth, this lie in our culture that's so common that science and religion really can't go together. But in Catholicism, they absolutely can. That we can enjoy the truths of both human reason and the sciences, as well as God's divine revelation and what we need to know for salvation that we receive from sacred scripture, sacred tradition, that the church preserves for us and shares with us what we need to know. This beautiful experience of these truths that all come from God. God is the source of all truth anyway, that we can experience all of these things as Catholics, okay? So back to our question is can a Catholic believe in evolution? The short answer is basically yes. There's a couple of caveats here. If you consider some of our past videos and talking about, the Bible, how do we read that as a Catholic, science and religion that work together, those are really key. So I'll make those available for you, some links to check those out, because those are really key to kind of flow with our train of thought here. But looking at evolution as a Catholic, here's a couple of the caveats. There's really two things to keep in mind. The first one is as a Catholic, if I believe that evolution is true, as science talks about evolution, a couple of key things. Number one is that it didn't happen by random chance. Okay, that God is involved in the process of evolution. Think of it this way, that God is using evolution as his tool, as his way of creating within the entire universe. Okay, that God, created, 13, 14 billion years ago, created the universe through the Big Bang, and that how does he, create human life? That human life may have evolved from simple, single-celled organisms that became more complex through a series processes of natural selection. Did this all work exactly the way Darwin imagined it? No, it's much more complex than Darwin would have imagined it. But, credit where credit is due. Certainly this is pointed us in the right direction. Okay, so can a Catholic believe in evolution? Yes. Well, does that conflict with the Bible? Not as a previous video that I recently shared discusses. Okay, but today we're going to focus explicitly here on evolution and what we need to maintain, is that if we believe in evolution, which we certainly can believe, and that seems like a very logical, possible way of the way that things worked out, is that God had to be involved in the process, that it is not undirected natural processes, that this is what God is using to bring about his creation with intentionality, with purpose. Genesis 1 talks about human beings being made in God's image and likeness, that we have a purpose, that we're meant to be here. Okay, and that's a key part of Catholic teaching as well, that we have a purpose. We're meant to be here. So God, if evolution is true, then God is using evolution to bring us about it. It's his tool that he's using. A second key caveat to keep in mind is that while the human body may have evolved over time from simpler organisms, that the human soul does not evolve, that the human soul is a special creation by God with every unique human being when they are conceived in their mother's womb. When their genetic material comes together, their 23 chromosomes from mom and dad come together, and they become a new life, a new human being. They become a new creation by God. And it's a beautiful thing that happens here is that when this happens, you guys, the entire universe changes, okay? Because you now have something new in the universe that has never existed in the past, and will continue to exist forever into the future, okay? Because you have a new human soul. A new human soul, which cannot, a spiritual soul, okay, we're immortal. We're not going to die. I mean, yes, we'll experience physical death, but I am going to live on for all eternity, and so are you. We're going to experience that in eternity. We're going to experience it in heaven and hell. So let's grasp God in love, and let's let it be heaven, for crying out loud, okay? Let us exist for eternity in heaven, God willing. God, pour out your graces and help us to participate in those graces, that we may be saved by you, Lord, okay? So here's the thing, we're immortal, okay? We're going to experience physical death, but we also believe in the resurrection of the body, that our life is going to come back, okay? So the second key component is that the soul does not evolve, that the human soul is a special creation by God at the moment of every person's conception, okay, is a key thing. Now this even makes philosophical sense. It's not logical to think that physical stuff could evolve, and physical stuff could evolve an immortal spiritual soul. That's insane. Like, that doesn't even make sense regardless. So this is totally not illogical or contradictory to science. Okay, if you believe that evolution takes place and that physical things could evolve and become more complex over time, at some point when you get to human beings, at some point God is going to create human beings in His image and likeness, and when He does that, He's going to give the first human soul, the first spiritual soul, to a mere animal, a mere body. Okay, and that's where you're going to have your first human. That's Adam. Okay, was its name Adam? Not likely. Okay, it's not like the horses were saying, "Hey, Adam." Okay, so Adam would be that first human, okay, in the fullest sense, and that maybe that doesn't even mean the first Homo sapien. Like, who knows? Maybe there were Homo sapiens around for a while until God infuses one of them with a human soul, a spiritual soul made in His image and likeness, capable of cognitive thinking beyond what they've been able to be conceived before, capable of philosophy and conceiving of this God who's beyond us, and also capable of free will and fully made in God's image and likeness. When God gives that gift at the moment of that being's conception, there's your Adam. Okay, there's your first human in the fullest sense, okay, made in God's image and likeness. So what does this all mean? Can a Catholic believe in evolution? Yes, absolutely. But again, that God directed the processes, He's using evolution as a tool, and that the human soul does not evolve. Every human soul is a special creation by God. We're going to continue exploring more on science and religion and how they interact with each other. If you'd like to receive more Passionately Catholic content, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on any future content. And special thanks to all of our Patreons who make everything we do at Passionately Catholic possible. I wish you all God's blessings and peace, and I look forward to being in touch again very soon.